Yeah, this review is great. I don't want to read it to you now because you're going to love it when I do it. I guess I'll save it for second half for Karen Darren time.
Yeah.
This guy's not a Darren, but he was a Darren territory. He was
Darren Tory.
Darren Tory.
Dare to keep kids off Yelp.
Darren Tory sounds like a soccer team. And
Are you a Darren Toy supporter?
Oh, yes, I'm a Darren Toy. Oh, you're one of the toys, eh? They're reading everything. I heard a word. Like, what is James? What's the Spurs?
Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, he calls them ham sometimes, tots, all this stuff. I'm like, I was like, when the tots played, I'm like, you can talk about enjoying food?
The toddlers?
Yeah. Why were you watching toddlers play? What? You kept your jersey on.
Yeah, thank you. Well, cheers, skull, bienvenue, viva la USA. And this is from Behind the Barcast.
You should have worn a tie with it.
Oh, yeah, right. It's the podcast for bartending, service industry, drinking in general, and USA soccer. I'm Paxton.
Georgia football.
And Georgia football. That's Clint Moses. We got Kelly on the ones and twos.
That's right. And
if you want to support us, we're on Patreon, patreon.com/from Behind the Barcast. We're on Instagram. We're on all those things. And today was the first match of the group stage.
Well, before we get to that, it's still Sauvignon season.
Oh, yeah.
But now it's Sauvignon Blanc season because it won't stay cold here.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
So, the season won't stay cold, not the Lord Almighty. So, we're going to be drinking Imagery Sauvignon Blanc from the Valley of Sonoma. That's in California, USA.
Valle Sonoma.
And it's not like anything special as a Sauvignon Blanc goes.
And I don't like white wines.
Honeysuckle, little Gardenia in there probably.
But
patient yet ambitious.
It goes with our cheese plate we'll get into later. But, all right, ready for, you want to get that right there, buddy? And, all right. Perfect. I figured to get you into white wine, Sauvignon Blanc would be the easiest one.
Yeah, I don't dislike it.
Yeah. It's not overly, a lot of Sauvignon Blanc is really dry. This isn't too dry. But it could be drier.
Yeah, oh, you know what? Now that I know about wine, I have to lick the screw top.
Yeah, cut your tongue.
I know that's good.
It's dry.
Because of my...
It's dry, but not overly dry. Like some Sauvignon Blancs.
No, it's got something there.
Because of my exquisite palate.
Sauvignon Blancs are grown in 3 major areas in the world. California. So you get this lighter, slightly sweet. You get that honeysuckle, the gardenia, even. Nice. When you go into Australia or New Zealand, Sauvignon Blanc, you get more of it's called cat's fee, P-H-E-E, which is a New Zealand way of saying piss. So you get the kind of like rank piss on the end, like a little bit
ammoniated
ammonia,
type thing?
A little bit. And then you go to the Loire Valley, which is the birthplace of Cabernet of Sauvignon Blanc, and Sancerre, which is Sauvignon Blanc. All Sauvignon Blanc grapes started in the Loire Valley and have been migrated elsewhere. And that's more like slaty, gravelly kind of flavor, a lot drier than this.
I'm trying to
it's a good food wine.
I'm trying to focus I'm trying to focus this into like bourbon notes because those are things I semi understand. But I'm getting like a little more sweetness from this than I would typically imagine.
But that will go away as it opens up too.
But it doesn't completely.
And notice that it's not ice cold.
Yeah.
It's about 60, 64 degrees. That's about where you want.
Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Yeah, both. Somehow. Thanks, Aura. But it's not bad.
Well, it doesn't Sahara my mouth.
The acid is good for a lot of food. You want acid? It helps with a lot of food.
Well,
so we get some of our cheeses we had earlier.
Well, speaking of that, so since the World Cup did start today, and I knew that Clint was bringing some white wine.
You want a little more? Slide it over?
Yeah, let's.
I don't want to pour over the controller. Sound effects.
I went and got a bunch of cheeses today from all the way as far away as Wisconsin.
But did you have any Welsh cheeses?
I had no Welsh or English cheeses because now I don't have to tell you guys this, but the Welsh and the English are famously pedophiles. Known over the world. And listen, I don't want to alienate a lot of our listeners, but
from England.
But there's one thing I draw the line at.
Bad soccer teams?
And that's pedophilia. I know that might upset people.
You're okay with necrophilia?
That's fine.
Not necrophilia, pedonecro.
But so I got some French brie. I got some cave aged bleu. I got a couple
Most blue is
Yeah.
cave aged. If you
Oh, nice. If you get the good stuff
monks
like I do.
used to make blue cheese in caves where they
Okay.
where they didn't touch babies and kids.
I knew it would come back. Yeah, so we were enjoying the things that the colonials would hate for us to be enjoying right now. Even with and I was like, you know what is really good? Welsh rarebit. It's just cheese on toast.
Just cheese on toast.
Yeah, that's what Welsh rarebit is.
Will you switch to him real quick?
Yeah, that's that's the height of their cuisine is putting cheese on the fucking toast.
And they do pudding.
Yeah, but you know what pudding is? Dessert. That's what they call all dessert. It's just like out west they call all soft drinks pop. You know?
Well, we call them all Coke. So
Well, yeah, down here Kelly and I were talking about that last night.
Yeah.
It's like everything down here was Coke.
And nowhere is it called all Pepsi. It's soda
Yeah.
pop, Coke.
So growing up on the south side of Savannah, all the schools that I went to, they would say, "Are you getting a soda?" And that was the blanket term for Coke, Sprite, whatever.
That cheese made you gassy, huh?
Oh man, it's starting to. The brie is really melting into my.
It's really doing some weird things down there.
So we got started a little late tonight. It is currently
My bad.
8:47.
You gotta call my man.
So I was over at Kelly on the ones and twos house today watching a bit of footy match, and we cheered, we lived, we laughed, we loved, and then he napped, and so we start calling him. We're like, hey, and then he finally answers. He goes, "Can I help you?" I was like, "Yeah, man, we're doing the podcast." He's like, "Yeah, what time is it?" I was like, 8:15. He goes, "It's almost 8?" I was like, "No, it's 8:15." He goes, "Wow, it's almost 8. I better get going."
Yeah, I wasn't napping. I was sleeping.
Yeah, I took a nap today. Kelly took a sleep.
And the thing was, as we watched that match today, I heard Kelly say incredulous more times than I've ever heard anyone say that. And then he wakes up from his nap,
Incredulous.
quite incredulous.
I was stunned out of sleep.
Well, speaking of football, we'll get this out of the way. That's all you get for this lackluster ass performance this weekend. 16-6. Hey, look, Georgia played a pretty good. They won. They never were trailing, but every team on the road in the top 5 struggled. But I more want to shout out the University of Tennessee for getting the shit kicked in by
South Carolina hung 60 something on him.
63. I believe,
Wow.
which was Spencer Rattler's best, 7 touchdowns for Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
He had the game he's supposed to have been played all year. He had, so it was. I think it was homecoming, South Carolina at night in Williams-Brice Stadium.
They
whatever.
had the matte black helmets too, which looked
It looked
pretty
dope.
Yeah.
And they played Sandstorm ad nauseum as they always do. But so I'm watching the game, talking to V in the first quarter, and it's quickly 21-7, and I was like, they're going to run out of fireworks tonight. Well, they did, because after the game, SEC Network posted, South Carolina scored so many touchdowns they ran out of fireworks.
Oh, that's why
They
they
scored-
turned the lights out.
Yeah, and play the
So that
fireworks.
they can
turn the
blow
lasers
fireworks.
on.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they ran out of fireworks. They scored so much.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So, haha, Tennessee fans.
Yeah,
you
right.
got murked by a mediocre team.
And now TCU is sitting at number 4, and
They've been at number 4.
no, I'm
Yeah.
just saying they're just sitting there now.
But Tennessee,
And I
TCU
hope
almost lost.
Yeah.
They had to get a field goal last second to win. Michigan, same thing. Ohio State was losing to Maryland.
Do you think that's going to affect the voting when it comes to playoff time?
Because
that
everybody struggled, though, in the top
Yeah.
4. So,
It was definitely almost moving day. For
yeah, everybody
top
was on the
4.
road.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Georgia's in. I mean, we'll get to beat Tech. Because Tech beat North Carolina, upset them, number 12 North Carolina. And,
Third string quarterback.
yeah, after the game, the players were in the locker room doing the smartest thing they could do, chanting, "We want Georgia." What you want to do is give Kirby Smart some locker room footage to show his players
Yeah.
that are already a rivalry game.
What do they call that? Whiteboard?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
whatever? Yeah.
Bulletin board. But it's, the Georgia Tech game is clean old-fashioned hate.
Yes.
But we beat them like 11 times in a row.
Gotta be.
Yeah, because last time we beat them, they beat us. I got blackout drunk at 5:30 in the afternoon and
Oh, wow.
lost my cell phone, and that was the last time I drank bourbon to intoxication, I believe,
Oh, bourbon to completion.
or maybe it was Jaeger. I don't remember. It was a mess. I stole a bike.
That's the whole time he...
No, like apparently I walked outside and it was John, whatever his name is, but John, what am I going to say his name? Gannon. Fine. got it.
Okay, yeah.
I walked out, looked through the window at Stingrays. He said I looked him in the eyes and was like, flipped him off and took his bike and drove off. And he was like, "What the hell?" And then he called and was like, "Do you have a bike?" I'm like, "No, I don't know what." I don't
He
know
may have said, "What the hell?" but he didn't stop you.
No, no, you're not.
He saw that you had Terminator
I wouldn't have been
eyes.
hard to catch.
Yeah.
I was weaving a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I got stopped on the way home by the police. Like, sir, are you okay? I was like, Georgia Tech. But
sir,
anyways, so we're gonna beat the shit out of Tech, and once Georgia wins Saturday, they're in the playoffs. Either if they lose to LSU, which probably won't happen, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which is good.
I'm glad to not have to think about it still.
Crickets.
sorry.
If you're not watching, you're missing out. Paxton is really enjoying his new soundboard over here.
Well, here in a second, you might want to be watching if you're on Spotify because I have a new Life Hacks with Pax.
Earworm?
Life Hacks with Pax. So this isn't my personal life hack, but I'm going to protect the names of some of the people involved. You're going to get a person's first name.
We're gonna show the video.
We're going to show the screen. Okay. We're going to show the video in a second. So I have a friend and another friend.
Shit, two?
Yeah, two friends.
That aren't in this room?
They were all in the same place one time. And they decided they wanted to get a good old arm wrestling match going on. Okay.
Was drinking involved? That's the best time to arm wrestle.
Yeah.
I like
it was.
Drinking and doing physical activities that could hurt you that you don't do every day are a great idea.
So the life hack is don't pay for medical procedures when you can get them for free. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So here's what happened. So gentleman A and gentleman B were arm wrestling. Gentleman A probably has about 60 pounds on gentleman B.
Ooh, I'm going to go Victor.
Gentleman B has a tree trunk spiral fracture that they heard from the kitchen. They were arm wrestling at the round at the outside bar at Pooh's.
Okay.
Danny was in the kitchen. Danny, there's no bread on a charcuterie board. Doc Ryan.
Yes.
Was in the kitchen.
I like that.
He thought something had fallen off the roof. So he goes out and person B's arm is completely.
It was that loud?
It was like a tree trunk breaking.
I mean, that's a fracture.
So
this was months ago.
It's not as long ago as I thought because this dude must be Wolverine with adamantium bones because he was out of the sling in like 2 weeks. And
that's probably a personal choice, not doctor recommended.
As you're going to see, he's probably expediting this healing a little more than he actually should. But so he comes to the bar the other night and he goes, "Have you seen it?" So he's probably got 40 stitches.
Yeah.
Running from about here all the way down the elbow.
And if you're just watching, that's like middle tricep all the way down to the middle of your forearm.
All the down to the ulnaris.
Nope, you're already off.
Damn it. Shit.
Ulnar,
yeah. All the ulnaris. So anyways, so he comes up to me at the bar on Saturday night and he goes, "Pax, check this out, man."
The scar.
Yeah, no, the stitches. He goes, "You want to pull these out?" I was like, "Make an appointment with me Monday." I thought he was joking.
Yeah. So does he go try to find another doctor on Tybee that's...
Well, I was booked up and I was his first choice, you know?
Yeah. Well, sometimes you can't go to your primary provider.
So he goes to the Windrose Cafe.
And now person B's name is out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just his first name. Switch to the close camera so that they can see this.
Bam.
So, doctor at the Windrose, I don't know who's performing the surgery. At least they have gloves on.
Holy hell.
They've got hemostats. I see they sanitized the table with hot sauce and ketchup.
Yeah. Look at that shit. Now, the thing is, it is stitches. So
I've taken stitches out 20 times. So if you have stitches, you don't have to go back. I can do it for you. I don't want to do it at the bar at midnight.
Oh, why not?
But I could.
What if you told everyone to stop smoking for 10 minutes at the Windrose?
They're coming out, not going in.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing. I've put stitches in people before too. I mean, in a medically professional environment, not at the Windrose.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But I've taken stitches out of people's head before or arm. I mean, shout out to Vinny
hide
King.
their name. Oh.
Sorry, Clinty Wing. I don't know. It didn't work at all. No, I'm going to quit. We worked at Lily's one New Year's Eve. I won't mention the other person's name involved in this evening. At lunch, one of the ex-employees of there and maybe here got mad at something at lunch and punched the shed and fractured their wrist. So they're now, as New Year's Eve day, they're now out for New Year's Eve night, which is a busy night in every restaurant in America for the most part, except for Bojangles. And so Vinny is buffing wine glasses behind the bar. We were slammed. He was the GM, and I'm the bartender, head server thing.
Yeah.
And we're busy, and it's like 6:30. It's kind of early. Glass breaks, stabs him down the arm.
Oh, wow.
Like he's got a deep wound. And so, we've had a couple drinks because it's New Year's Eve. We had just champagne toast before shift or whatever.
Yeah.
And I said, look, go sit outside, wrap it up. I got someone coming. Shout out to my stepmom and my dad. They showed up with like the gear because she's a nurse and he works in the medical. He's an anesthetist.
Can you talk about this on the air?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
She can do work. She doesn't work for her previous employer anymore anyways.
Okay.
So I called them because I know that's who to call. It's early evening. They won't be drinking. And everyone had a few at this point. It's New Year's Eve. They show
Not
up.
enough to not do surgery, though.
So they show up and I told Vinny, hey, just chill outside. Do not smoke a cigarette and definitely don't do it standing up. What Vinny does? Couldn't no shit. Goes outside, smokes a cigarette, passes out.
I was going to say, how long did he last on his feet?
Not long. I walked out there and he was laying on the ground. And I was like, you okay? He's like, I lit a cigarette. I was like, I see the cigarette. I see you on the ground, dumbass.
Do you remember the show Road Rules?
Yes.
They took them.
Vinny would have been a good Road Rules guy.
Yeah, I think so. He would have auditioned really well. They took this. They flew a helicopter up to the pretty high on a mountain. They dropped these people off. They're at a pretty good altitude. The girl gets out and lights a cigarette. They're like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm fine."
Yeah. Boop. Yeah.
Gone.
God, it works. But yeah, they showed up and sewed his arm up, and then 4 weeks later, I took pictures out. We were just hanging out, and I was like, "That was good. I'll take him out right now."
So none of the ligaments were like, or whatever, the tendons.
But neither of those were injured.
Okay, cool. Well, because I had a buddy, he was a bass player, and they used to practice in a depot where they pull tractor trailers up to unload and stuff. So he was climbing up into the thing with a 40 in his hand, and he slipped, and he smashed the 40, as you would with a 40 in your hand.
So Edward 40 hands was ruined.
It cracked, it broke, everything that connected his fingers to his...
Oh.
It was probably like 2.5 years before he could play the bass again. That was his fretting hand and everything.
Did his hand just like clutch up?
I don't know, man. I wasn't there for it, but I know.
God, that'd be terrible.
Yeah, I know when you spring.
There's
those
a lot
things-
going on in your hands.
Yeah.
And your feet, but
Yeah.
there's a lot going on in your.
Yeah, because isn't it when you bust your ACL, it like winds up a little bit?
It depends on how you usually.
Like
Yeah.
a Windows shade.
Yeah, and when you hurt your phalanges,
Ah.
that also there's a lot of
gotcha,
tendons and
yeah.
ligaments and blood vessels in there.
So you like Marvel movies, don't you?
I've seen one or two.
So what do you think
Today.
about old Hemsworth being like, I'm not gonna work with any more genius, big idea directors anymore? Have you heard this?
Is that from the Limitless thing? Was that on Limitless?
No.
I haven't heard
No.
this. Is this true?
Yeah, I think it's just because he doesn't like Taika Waititi's like ultra wokeness.
Well, Taika Waititi is probably not going to do another Marvel movie because the last one kind of bombed,
Yeah.
and he's gotten a little weird. He's
Yeah.
already weird, but he's gotten weirder.
But see, he comes from the Flight
Love
of the
and Thunder
Conchords days.
Yeah.
like
was
he's
that, was that Love and Thunder?
Love and Thunder. I mean, it made money. I think it hit a billy, but it's the rewatchability. Ragnarok, the one he made before that,
Yeah.
it's one of my top 3 Marvel movies of all time.
Yeah.
You can watch it again and again and again and again and again.
It's
And Love and
funny.
Thunder, while it's funny, they overplayed some of the jokes, and then there was just too much downtime. It wasn't near as good, and expectations were really high and deliberately low. So I don't think he'll get a third one. Yeah, that's how I felt at the movie. But Chris Hemsworth will be working with major directors again. He said he doesn't want to do. Say that again. He doesn't. want to
he
work with
just
major
doesn't want to
directors?
work. All right, so the way he
But
phrased
he will
it,
be though.
No.
He's still Thor.
No, the way he phrased it was genius, big idea directors. Like, I think the guys who are trying to mess with the system a little too much, trying to shake it up.
Well, he's an Aussie.
Yeah, and Watiti's from New Zealand.
Yeah, there could be some beef there.
There could be some beef.
He's a
Like the
Kiwi.
U.S. versus England on Friday. I don't know if you can hear this over the microphone, but I am wearing my U.S. kit.
What time's the game on Friday? 11?
No, it's in the afternoon. It's like 2.
2 o'clock.
Yeah, 2 o'clock, yeah. So we might make an appearance somewhere to go watch the match.
I'm off
You're off?
all week. More on that later.
More on that later. How was your week this week?
Okay.
It was
Mediocre.
Okay? Mediocre.
I
Yeah,
had a rough week.
mine too. So
I don't have a lot of rough weeks where like day
Yeah.
to day to day. I just wasn't.
Well,
Every week can't be good. The weather's been dreary daily.
all right. So there's the whole seasonal depression thing.
It was Sauvignon Blanc weather.
This year, the time change has affected me way more because number one, it's been cloudy all day, every day.
Yeah.
You can't tell if it's 2 or whatever.
It's getting dark at 4 o'clock.
Kelly sleeps till past when he's supposed to work and thinks it's 2 in the afternoon.
God, it won't go away. Kelly's over there just like, just driving it home, huh? Driving it home. But yeah, it's this time of year people get hit with it. I don't usually get depressed.
This is the first time it's happened to me.
I was just going, you know what's going on. We'll talk about it on the Patreon next week. I'll get into some deeper details.
But I'm just saying, just the seasonal depression in general, it's never affected me that much.
This is the worst it's ever been for me.
And I think it's because, it's just been cloudy. And the thing was, we went from a stark 78 degrees a couple days ago.
It was beautiful every day for like 3 weeks.
And then I woke up one morning and the end of my tongue was frozen. I could have.
And now it's like 50 and wet and gross. It's not rainy. It's just drizzling half the day, but it's just enough to keep the humidity at 90%.
Yeah. Well, see, okay.
Cover the sun.
You know what else it does? It makes you go do things a little bit earlier than you typically would because you're still trying to catch some sunlight. You know? So I went to Kroger the other day. Huge mistake to go at 4:30.
Oh, did that today. Also a mistake. We'll go. Go ahead.
Yeah, 4:30. Because I look over and they're having their wine and beer happy hour at the Kroger bar. And I was going to get a nice log.
Not confused with the Crowbar. It's the Kroger bar.
Kroger bar.
It's with a K, not a C.
And I was like, I know like 3 people over there, but are just... And the thing was, my want for cheese overrode my want not to interact with humans in the public space. But the headphones did create some sort of...
There's one thing I like about the winterish months we get here. Hoodie, sunglasses, headphones. But hoodie can backfire because you can't see headphones.
Right.
Like I do cord under shirt or wireless. And so you have to...
See, I'm cord over shirt when I'm in public, under when I'm at the house.
You're peacocking. You're like, look at my cord. Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Today, mine was, I went to Kroger after I was at a place doing some stuff. And I forgot my headphones and my coupons, but I could live without one of those two. And apparently it's headphones, not coupons.
Whoa.
Because I was able to do some digital coupons, save some money anyways. And this was the rare occurrence where a complete and utter stranger interrupted my alone time. I'm sitting at the self-checkout, and I chose the side with the 80-year-old lady, not the 25-year-old man. Oops.
Yeah.
And so I'm just waiting to scan my ID. All you need to do is my ID. And so she walks over to the other couple. They've got like 7 coupons, and she's walking back. I'm just holding my ID up in the air. And the guy across from me is like, man, you're super patient. And I'm like, yeah, you got to be sometimes. And I usually go to his side. He goes, hey, buddy, go get him. This dude walks around, the young guy, and does the ID check for me. I was like, oh, thanks, man. He goes, oh, yeah, man, you know why? Now he walks around to my side and starts talking to me and goes, it's because I'm from up north. We're more polite up there. And points at his Nittany Lions shirt. That's Penn State for you that don't know. And I'm like, maybe. And some people in Pennsylvania are politer because they're Amish, but what you're doing right now is not polite.
That's a very weird flex because typically Southern hospitality is like a thing.
Yeah. And
then the Yanks are, not so polite.
Well, I heard that people were really nice Kentucky this weekend, and my Georgia fans, he goes, Kentucky's still in the South. I'm like,
it was a Mason-Dixon thing for him then. Yeah.
So as we're walking out, I've noticed he has slowed down what he's doing so we can walk out together.
The pace keeper? He was pace carring you?
Yes. So, because he only had like 4 things. I had like a cart because I had some heavy stuff. And I'm like, oh no. So, I mean, not that it's a long walk to the car, but I'm like, I'm going to have to talk to this guy the whole way.
It's much longer when someone's pace carring you.
So he's like, yep, turkey did come up. I love turkey. Small talk. And then the old lady in front of us who's slowing me down to get away from this guy is like, oh, I love turkey. I was like, yep, a lot of leftovers. Can't wait. Hell yeah.
Dude.
And so I take off. Once I get clear, once I pass her, I get away from the pace car. I walk up to my car. Parked next to my car is a car with Nittany Lions stickers on it. I'm like, please, God, don't be this man. And I'm like, and I look kind of out of the corner, and I see him over there. I'm like, oh, God, it's not him. Oh, it's not him.
Man.
Thank God.
It wasn't Travis.
No, I'd have been happy to talk to Travis. This guy real talked to me pretty much.
No, he would have Travis would have been like, hey, Clint, what you buying? 30 pack of Coors Light? All right, my man. And and he would just leave.
It's weird. I wanted him to be room temperature because you don't want to.
You
don't want beer to go cooler to to garage and back. I don't drink a lot of Coors Light. If I don't drink 30 in enough time to put them in my fridge.
I know when he told, I was like, why'd you need your ID? He goes, I was getting a 30-pack of Coors Light.
I haven't bought them since Grant was here.
Colorado.
I bought
Kool-Aid.
a case then, and this is my
Tall
like I
boys?
said, no, because I use it for beer can chickens. I need regular size.
Oh, gotcha,
Otherwise, the
gotcha,
chicken's floating.
Gotcha.
The legs don't touch.
So I got pace card. Well, so me and a lady inadvertently pace card each other going into the K. Roger today. That's funny you mentioned that because I didn't know how to sort of express it.
Wait, were you there at 4:30 today?
Oh, no. I was there at 5:30 today.
We just missed each other.
I was there at 5:30 because after I left Kelly's house and he inevitably went into his sweet slumber for the next 6 hours.
Sweet.
I was like, I want cheese because I knew you were bringing wine. I was like, I want to go get cheese. So I pull in. First of all, it's kind of packed.
It was slammed when I was there.
I normally park like at least 50 cars away. I
Yeah.
always park way in
I
the back.
parked pretty far back.
I like to
or to the
walk.
side. But it was
I like
kind of
to walk.
drizzly today.
I like to walk. So I'm walking and I meet up with this lady, all walking the same pace. We both decide that we don't want to pace car each other. So one of us slows down, the other one slows down at the same time. So we're literally stopping and starting. Finally, I bit it and I was just like, I'm standing still for 2 seconds.
Look at that bird.
Is this crumb that
nighting-
I'm walking into?
Is that a nightingale?
Ooh, a whistling whimperl.
So I like parking far away. Depending on which car I'm driving, I park closer, far away. But so I like when someone's waiting to turn into, and they're waiting for like the second spot, and they're just chilling. You go around them, you park and walk past them as they're still waiting.
as they're
You're
still
like,
waiting for them.
what are you gonna do with all that time you just saved?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like I get it if it's raining and you're old,
Yeah.
but if it's not raining and you're not old,
Well, see, a lot of if you're truly old and infirm and fat and stupid,
You've got handicap
you can
stickers.
just pull up and just park your car anywhere, really.
The Publix on Whitmarsh by my
Yeah.
house. Sorry for people who don't live around here, but
Yeah.
there used to be a dry cleaner right there next to it. So there was a drive-through for it. Now it's a karate studio or something, and you don't do drive-through karate. But I guess
Honky
you could.
Jim does.
You can get these hands through the window. I don't care.
Like, excuse me, what would you like today? Black belt? Bam!
So I'll walk up and I'll drive up and I drive from that side and I see cars parked in that area where it says fire lane, no parking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you self-entitled prick. So as long as I go in and come out and you're not still there, but I went one time and shopped for like 20 minutes, came out, truck still there. And I'm like, you're a douchebag. You're so, and he's parked like in the middle, like no one can get around. I mean, not there's people driving over there, but it's such a self-entitled move.
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
can't park 15 feet over here in a real spot. Nope, got to be special. Got to keep my Dodge safe.
Not only
And it's
that,
Dodge Rams a lot for actually some reason.
Is Dodge Ram the cuck truck? I don't know. Let's see.
The cut truck. Old cut trucks.
Speaking of motorized vehicles, there's been a rash of not wheelchairs, but the fat people. I like
Scoots?
yeah, the scoots.
The rascal.
They like their
The rascal.
diabetes adult onset. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes.
They like their stockings very tight.
Yes.
So
Their cheese is cheddar.
yeah, exactly. A strong cheddar.
Sharp.
They've been driving on Tybee on the actual roads down here. I don't know if they escaped from the old folks' home or whatever, but they don't look old and infirm. They just look adult onset diabetes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the ladies and the gentlemen that go to Walmart and they're like, "Where's the
You
cart?"
can't put two on a cart together or it dies.
Yes. They got to get 2 bus tickets.
Yes. That's 2 bus tickets. I'm taking 2 bus tickets. There's 100 pounds between a plane and a bus ticket.
But I was pulling up and I was like, okay, they're on the road, like sort of on the where the cars park,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the side of Tybee. But I was like, maybe they're just doing 1 block. I pass them, get to my destination, turn around. As I'm coming back, they're still huffing it in my direction.
They're gonna get to charge that thing on the way.
They go to the Chews and get 200 lottery tickets.
That is a common pair.
And let me tell you the best thing in the world to stand behind. A
Lottery.
person going, all right, let me get a 15. Ooh, yeah. All right, 2 number 5s, actually. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Wait,
You
we
know,
did a quick pick, we did a quick pick.
2 quick picks. What's the?
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 more quick picks.
But you know what else is really fun though?
Yeah.
Is to be in there while they're scratching and watch them lose all of those. The thing is now when you buy those $20 tickets, you're gonna win something on each ticket, even if it's just
Yeah, they
ticket.
incentivize it pretty well.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you remember back in the 90s when they first did lottery in Georgia.
The bar that I worked at, where I was a cook, we
This was
had
like 95.
we had jumbo bucks there.
93. 93 is when they
Yeah.
did it. And so our neighbors were from South Carolina. They used to buy scratch-offs all the time. And they informed us when they start the lottery, like scratch-offs in a state, the winning tickets are like 40%. They go down as time goes on, but they want to get you hooked.
Yeah.
So they would buy rolls.
Yeah.
The whole grip
Yeah.
of tickets, and they were killing it.
Okay. So same.
But now they like what is it 20%?
So this
15?
was jumbo bucks, and this is probably like 98 or 99.
There was just $1 and $2 tickets.
Yeah.
Now you can pay $75.
Well,
for
it was
one
a
and scratch for an
bar.
hour.
We had all we had were jumbo bucks, and we would have 2 rolls of them at any given time, and then we had Keno or some shit like that. We had a lottery
Keno.
system, whatever. Well, you couldn't buy lottery tickets. You could play Keno, and you could get the scratchers, right? So these like Croatians came in because we were right next to a big harbor where like big boats would come in, and they would have staff from.
You were at the Croatian bar. We get it.
Yeah. It's called O. Henry's or O. Croteries, whatever. So these Croats came in, and they bought both rolls. So it was $200 there's $100 per roll. They bought both of them. They netted negative $108 or something like that.
Yeah.
So from that moment on, I was like, no scratchers ever.
I think legally you're supposed to win whatever the roll is monetarily.
They should have called the cops.
Even if it's free.
It's a gambling.
Even if it's a free ticket, that kind of thing, you're supposed to get
Yeah.
legally back what you put, because there's like YouTube videos of.
No, but over how? What's the control group? Over how many tickets?
That's the thing. If there's 1,000 or 10,000,
Maybe if it's 1,000, but these guys bought 200 and we're in the hole.
See, I gotta wonder how people do that. So, what the worst thing is seeing someone that just scratches off the barcode and scans it, and I'm like, you're too lazy to actually enjoy that. I buy a scratch off probably once every 2 months. I'll be stoned or something in the store, and I'm like, you know what? Give me one of those, and then they remind me that I got to pay cash for it. I'm like, ugh,
Oh yeah.
okay.
Whenever
Like when it was $1.2 billion,
yeah.
which I want to shout out the guy in California who got half that because California state taxes are so high. He won like 1.4 billion or whatever.
Yeah.
And
his life's still going to be ruined.
ruined.
Ruined because
Ruined.
pretty unless you're already rich, everyone who wins the lottery, your life is.
Well, don't they say like half of them go broke
Yeah.
within like?
You're not used to having money. You're not used to not saying no to your friends. Then all of a sudden, every relationship you've ever had is in question.
There'd be signs like this studio would all of a sudden be really nice.
The one that I read the other day was this lady hit the lottery, didn't tell her husband. She went to her lawyer. She was like, "What do I have to do?" He goes, "You have to divorce him right now." Right? So listen. So she's like, okay. So she divorces him. About a year or two later, he gets a piece of mail at their old house, which says, "Would you like to cash out your entire lottery winnings for a lump sum?" You know, remember those commercials? I have an annuity, but I need cash now. Oh,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
She got a letter from a company not unlike that, seeing if she wanted to cash out her annuity, and the ex-husband found out that she had won the lottery, sued her, and won every fucking penny of that money back.
Oh, nice.
So-
That's the first F-bomb, by the way.
If that's on it, would you take the annuity or would you take the lump sum?
Lump sum, always lump sum. Because you can't, if you die, then it's gone. I lump sum every time.
Lump sum, they take more from you, but you
lump
get
sum
it.
because anything could happen
Yeah,
in between now and 30 years.
true.
I mean, look, when I'm...
Don't they make you choose before you get the ticket?
No, you choose after you win.
Okay.
If they ever ask you that. So the guy won $2.04 billion was the winning thing.
Uh huh.
Do you know what he got from California?
One bill.
997.6 million is all he got. He got half, less than half, 48% or whatever that is.
But
The guy that sold it got $1 million. The store that sold it got $1 million bonus because they get a percentage of whatever the jackpot is. But there is some good stuff.
Okay.
$156 million of that tax money he lost went to California state schools.
Well, that's what they frame all lotteries on, right? It's like we're
Yeah.
paying for education.
Let's all go to Nancy Pelosi's tits, I think. is what's happening.
every time you win $1,000, I go up a cup.
I mean, it looks like that's been happening. Andrew Schultz video of him being like, "God damn, look at them milkers!" I can't get it. He goes, "Is your husband got a DUI? He was sucking on them 2%." It's one of the funniest quick videos I've ever seen. He's like, God damn, she hiding him with the fupa looking like a baguette. If you haven't seen Andrew Schultz about Nancy Pelosi's tits, because if you don't know, your opinion of Nancy Pelosi doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
But she has giant udders. I mean, she's. I mean, I want to see how those big tits fart.
They are utterly huge. Well, we got about 2% more content to give to you in the second half of From Behind the Barcast.
2%.
2%, yeah, like the milk, sucking on them too.
That was a skim conversation.
Blue cap.
We'll see y'all in a
2%
second.
more content. That's going to give you 98% of what you're going to get.
I'm cricketing out.
So I played with my tablet a bunch today when I was trying to figure that out, but like.
Gruyere. Hey, welcome back to From Behind the
Gruyere?
Barcast. Gruyere. So last night I got off work a little bit early because we were slow. It was very cold.
It's when it's I think it's Huckapoos is affected by when it's 50 degrees. It's like it's over.
Yeah. And all of our Hank Hill wasn't answering the phone, so all of our propane was out, so we couldn't even turn the heaters on or anything like that.
Oh, that's over.
Yeah. So
and the late game wasn't like an exceptionally like.
I didn't even make it to that. Kelly showed up, and I was like, "Hey, what you doing, bud? Let's go hang out,
Go
we
podcast.
did.
And we did. So we go to get in my car, and Kelly hands me 2 beers, and he goes, "Put these in your back seat." And I was like, "Oh, a High Life and a Dos Equis. Look at this guy. It's really variety is the spice of life." So we get back to the house. I handed him the 2 beers. He goes, "Those aren't the beers I handed you." I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I grabbed 2 High Lifes." I was like, "Do you think I had a cold bottle of Dos Equis in my back?" He goes, "I did not grab that." He ended up enjoying it and drinking it and the reason we were talking about that on the break was we were talking about the whole Kroger thing, and it's like going to the Kroger bar to drink or whatever. It's to see and be seen. It's very bright.
I like the idea of drinking while you shop, but
Sure.
not sitting and stopping while I shop.
Right. I like the idea of not having a wild card there. There's not going to be some drunk dude smoking a cigarette, ashing in your drink, falling over you, whatever. Maybe, hopefully. But it's to see and be seen. I don't go out to drink to see and be seen.
I want to not be seen.
Sort of.
Dark bar, dark corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, I go to your bar, and where do I hang out? In the corner.
Like literally.
Or behind the bar.
As close to me as you possibly can.
we both feel the same, like, hey.
Oh, you know what makes it even worse? I had the only heater last night, and it was behind the bar. Guess how long it lasted behind the bar? I put it onto the. I was like, I will
405.
I was like, I will freeze back here. I will let my customers be warm.
From behind the bar.
So speaking of holidays and stuff, Publix has a new commercial out, and it's a woman cooking for Thanksgiving dinner and not with her parents. So she keeps calling her mom. What temperature does the casserole go? What do you use rosemary and thyme? Do you use dill and this? And she keeps calling her mom and calling her mom. And I'm like, oh, that's sweet because I will do this. Occasionally I'll call a relative for something on recipe that I know how to make or could Google. But you know what? Reach out to my aunt. Say, hey, talk about this recipe for a minute, how mom used to make it. And at the end of the commercial, as Clint is getting slightly emotional, it pans down to the recipe sheet card like your grandma wrote on, all old and beat up, and she had the recipe, but she was just calling her. I'm at the cry right now. She's just calling her mom to talk to her mom because they're not together on Thanksgiving. And I was like, oh God Almighty! I didn't know it was a Publix commercial till the end. I was like, all right, Publix, you want more of my business? Dude, I mean,
Is that why you got that rotisserie chicken from Publix
Yeah,
today?
yeah,
Did it work on you?
Yeah, I mean, look, and I was like, I miss my mom, especially the holidays. The holidays, it hits when you miss your mom.
of course.
Like, I don't like my birthday anymore because my mom's dead. Like, the holidays hit the hardest, and even more than her birthday or Mother's Day, it's the holidays because that's when you most associate with your parents. And I was just like, Publix. What are you doing? It was during the fucking Chiefs Chargers game last night. That's what it was, a late game. It's during a football game, and like they're on a break from an epically good game, and I'm like, why do you want me to cry during this game? So I think about that today, and I read, make it my notes. Get on Facebook before I take my little nap today. Someone posted about it. 30 minutes after the post, there's like 27 likes, 12 comments. I'm like, oh, hey, it's not just me.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Publix out here just dropping tears. Because crying over a commercial, like I've cried during 1,000 movies, but, Turner and Hooch, Beverly Hills Cop, Lucky man.
American Psycho.
So I watched American Psycho again the other night.
Okay.
I was falling asleep, so I'm only halfway through it because I was like, I want to give this all my attention, but like, I feel you in more ways than I have in a while. 'Cause I've watched it in a long time, but like, just the energy of that movie going, because they're like, oh, this is normal. Oh, he's making these prostitutes screw each other.
Yeah. It's
with a weapon or something. What was it?
I mean, it's sort of left up to you.
And then they're leaving. He's like, hold on a second. He's pulling out like weapons.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
They just cut to them like beat up, and I'm like,
yeah, and they're
God,
walking out the door, and then he's naked with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
It's fine film.
Yeah,
Artistic. Fine film. I was trying to remember the last commercial that made me cry, but it was something along those lines, except it had nothing to do with anything with me personally. Like, it didn't remind me.
Sometimes dog commercials will get me.
See, the dog ones, in the arms of an angel.
Click. I never change commercials so fast.
Well, the thing is, the only time I watch terrestrial TV or subscription TV is at work, and I never hear the commercial.
Yeah.
So I just haven't witnessed very many commercials at all, except we were watching this show called The Patient.
So are you through that show yet?
Yeah, I'm done.
Is it still worth watching? I stopped episode 3.
It is. I mean,
Andor came out, and I got sidetracked.
all right, you have to look at it. You have to look at it as a composition, not as a big twist, or you know what I mean.
It's pretty twisty so far, though.
That's what I'm saying. It's the character development. That's what you need to pay attention to. But do you know what the serial killer's job is yet?
You told me. That's all I know.
Okay, well, spoilers anyways. He's a health inspector.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
We could use some of those around here.
So there was commercials in there, right? Because Allie was like, no, I got Hulu. I was like, you pay for this and there's still commercials?
Yeah, so now Hulu, Netflix, and Disney Plus all have a commercial tier or a non-commercial tier. Now, I am an OG one, day one, minute one subscriber to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I've told the story before. When Disney Plus came out, it debuted with episode 1 of The Mandalorian. I changed my location services on my PlayStation to a European country, Romania, to get it first because it was going to come out 3 hours later in America. So I did that, and then like weeks later, I was doing something on PlayStation. It was like something all these commercials in Romania. I'm like, what in the? Oh yeah, I forgot I'm in Romania just to get it early. Yeah. So I get like grandfathered in for just 1 year of not having to pay for the upgrade for ads.
Yeah.
But I'm not looking forward to that. But I don't care. Look, it's an ad. You get to do something.
Actually, when we were watching The Patient, it was nice to get up and go pee without pausing.
Yeah, and these are timed ads. Like, sometimes you
can see, you're like, I have a minute and a half.
Listen to Rogan.
Yeah.
And he's like, then I am, all right, on it. And like, what? They just splice the commercials in wherever they can.
They really jelly it in your ass.
Yeah, they really. Side...
wait, let me finish the Hulu thing. So the 2 commercials that I saw over and over and over again.
Oh, that's the one thing about Hulu. They're louder.
Yeah.
They're louder.
They're definitely
and they're
louder.
the same.
They're the same. So it was like, do you care about Georgians and Georgia? Herschel Walker. Then it was like, did you know Herschel Walker raped a baby?
Yeah.
Raphael Warnock.
When they're back to back.
Literally back to back every time.
I'll give you this. When a commercial's entertaining, like there's a Warnock commercial where he's jogging on a track. He's like, if Herschel Walker was doing this kind of race with me, I would lose, but he's not. And I was like, at least that's entertaining. Okay. It's not funny, but it's like chuckle. He
was standing in a peanut thing, and there's just peanuts falling all over him. He was like, and there's just this peanut farmer out there is like, that's nuts. Commercial over. And then I cried. So that's what I was.
For the saddest state of Georgia. But at least they're entertaining. But it's when they're back to back, I'm like, good God Almighty. Because Hulu will play the same commercial, and some of the Paramount Plus, when they were newer, it would be like a commercial and then a commercial for Paramount Plus. I'm like, dude, I'm watching.
I'm already here.
I'm watching. Because that's where Yellowstone was first released on, which I don't know if y'all watch Yellowstone. That shit's epic as.
Well, apparently that's the thing that keeps Paramount afloat.
It's great.
I download. All right, so this new monitor that I got from Goodwill.com, or no, I got it from the actual Goodwill. It came with Roku already, which Roku's free anyways.
Yeah.
And they released a film.
The Weird Al film?
It is. I'll not spoil any of it. It is amazing. So you have to watch commercials, but just go to Roku, watch Weird. Yeah.
God bless Daniel Radcliffe for making the transition
from Harry Potter to Weird Al.
Yeah, or just the scope.
What was the movie he did, Guns Akimbo, where they had 2 guns taped to his hands?
Oh, wow. No.
It's Edward Gun hands.
He's got range.
Edward 40 caliber hands.
And he is ripped. I think he was he intentionally stayed ripped from another role because, you know, he's doing a biopic of Weird Al, and Weird Al's never been ripped. This guy's hairy with a 6-pack. You can see his 6-pack through his hamburger meat hair. It's insane.
There's no hamburgers in this.
What were you saying about Hulu,
though? Yeah, speaking of Hulu, I want to give a shout out to Nate from Virginia.
Well, I got more commercial stuff, but go ahead.
But yeah.
Nate.
Hey, Nate, new listener from Virginia, found us. Doesn't remember how, but he saw the Tito's and Vodka shirt on one of our old reels.
Yeah.
And was like, how do I get that? And shout out to Coin Laundry.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, hit him. Hope you get one of those dope ass Tito's shirts. But thanks for being a new listener.
Yeah.
And have a good interaction with us. If you interact with us on social media, Instagram especially, we will interact back with you, maybe from more than one account.
Yeah, because it's nice to have engagement because anything that gets a little bit of engagement really helps us out. Just like subscribing to our YouTube channel really helps us out.
You know what doesn't help us out, though?
What's that?
Fucking Karen.
Oh shit! It's the Karen of the week. It's
Had to make sure I hit the right button.
of the week.
It's different every time. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
That's
I
a
love
mess.
All right.
it. This is why you watch on Spotify.
Surfer Karen. So Karen wouldn't speak up. I'm sorry, what was that? I was like, I can't hear you. I was like, it's louder up here than down there. Could you please speak up? So I was like, what's she? I was like, what's she saying? And her husband translated for me. And how do you want your steak? 124. I'm like, so I start getting loud. How do you want your steak? And they're at the table by the stairs at my old job, Circa. That's right, more old job, no more Circa. I can walk to the stair and look at, like, get eye level with them. So I go over there, so I'm eye level with her. I'm like, okay, what? She goes, 124 degrees. I was like, what? She goes, the steak. And I was like, okie dokie.
Well, that's mid-rare, right?
That's rare plus.
Rare. Okay.
The mid-rare is 120 to 132,
Okay.
roughly. But we don't do that. We barely get it right anyways.
Oh, you barely used to get it right anyways.
You used to get it right. Well, there was 26 steaks that went out badly before us. Anyways, so they eat. She eats half of everything. Half her fries, half her steak, half the bread. I've discussed with them throughout the meal what they're doing, where they're visiting from, when are they leaving back to Florida. Tomorrow morning, we leave it to get on our flight at 6. It's 9 o'clock. I was like, oh, I guess you don't want this wrapped up? Then she goes, oh, I'll take it all. The bread, the fries, the steak. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Now, Karen, mild redemption at this point, but she gets back down in the dirt because she's a Karen. She goes,
roller coaster.
She
I
goes,
like it.
I've got some tortillas. I'm going to make a breakfast wrap. And I was like, with the fries included with the steak? She goes, uh-huh. I was like, all right, Karen.
Okay.
She got the bernaise to go too. And I'm like, I'm kind of back in this. What are you going to do with the bread? She's like, that's what he gets for breakfast. I was like, oh, bro.
You know what? I love you again.
Okay, she's back. So I come back from boxing up the food. There's a few errant French fries that have mayonnaise, ketchup on them in front of her. She goes, could you have someone come by and clean my dining area? And I looked around and went, we're on paper. We're on butcher paper here. You can't crumb butcher paper. If you have a nice restaurant with linen, you use a crumber, which is a technique to do. And I said, has she seen someone cleaning tables? So I just take another napkin, make a triangle, make her a new placemat. I go to the back. I come back. Napkin is on the ground with the French fries.
Shut up.
She just went and put it on the ground. And there's next to her, like on her side, out of the way. But I was like, where'd the napkin go? She's like, that's right over here. And I'm like, could you hand me that, please? And I take it, and I sarcastically dump the free French fries into the trash can, throw the linen away. And she like looks back at her stained but not covered area. And she's like, and I was like, so what y'all having for dessert? You're not getting shit. But while this is going on, we have a little half honorary Darren going on too next to them because he didn't want to be out Darrened. What are you doing over there? I saw your fingers moving.
Nothing. I didn't want to sting it.
Darren.
Half honorary Darren.
So Darren comes in with some. God, this thing, the glare on my forehead plus the wig is epic. It looks like I'm melting.
Look like Landon Donovan.
Yeah. Oh, back bringing that one wound. So this guy comes in with my new regulars at my old job, Circa, where I used to work.
Right. Your old job.
Old job. Well, I don't work anymore. So if you want to see me, I'm not at Circa. I'm in an undisclosed location.
McDonald's on Skidaway.
Hey, we're up until midnight. So Honorary Darren comes in with some regulars I met 2 months ago, and they've become regulars of Circa because of me.
Yeah.
Not because of...
So you're regular.
They're my regulars, so they request me. They say they won't come in if I'm not there.
Mhm.
I love you already.
Yeah.
They had planned to come in on December and my birthday. I almost said the date, didn't do it. And so it's I meet the couple. They come in and say, hey, we hug, kiss on the cheek with the woman, as you do in the French restaurant. They're in their early 60s. They always dine for 3 hours. They spend money. They tip well. They're agreeable and easy. I know what she drinks. I know what he drinks. It's easy. He goes, this is our niece, Beth. Beth is hot. Beth is hot. And when the woman kisses me, she goes, don't mind her fiance. And I was like, oh, ha 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 ha. Here comes this guy. He had paid the bar tab. They were going to let him get that. And the woman, the regular, looks at me and is like, I got that. I'm like, I know. It's your tab because I know how you tip. And I know that you're my regular. I don't know this guy. He says, I would like a Grey Goose, not kettle like they're having, but Grey Goose. So he shames them.
Wow.
With 3 oranges muddled. Not 4 or 2, but 3.
Muddled?
Oranges muddled in this kettle and soda. Now, here's the thing. You don't know what size of an orange we're using.
Are we talking whole oranges?
He goes, but are they navel?
Was he getting this from the bar already?
No. He had one of our menu cocktails at the bar. Extra ice on the side, please. So I bring him the cup. The bartender makes it in a tall glass, easier to muddle in.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, no. I should have said this, I guess, or you should have known. I want it in a short glass. I said, well, you're going to lose about 1.5 ounces of liquid when I transfer that. He goes, whatever. And where's my ice? And I was like, I haven't left the area since I got to drink. So I'm like, all right. So I go dump the cocktail in a small cocktail, and I do it where he can see me and see it overflow down my arm.
Yeah.
And I use the other glass, scoop ice into the glass that was just in. I'm like, ice, cocktail. And he's like, so he's also sitting 2 feet from the table. So if there was somebody sitting behind him, there would have been a problem.
Yeah.
So every time I walk around him, I nudge the chair.
Does he look like he just ate Thanksgiving dinner and he's trying to relax?
He's a little bit bigger than Vinny.
Oh, okay. Really?
Taking up all this space. And he's got his legs crossed in front of the table. Like between him and the table, the legs are crossed. And then when he eats, he gets up and then he backs up. That's an immediate douchebag sign anywhere. But so I keep bumping his chair, whatever. He waves me over. They got split a steak tartare. He waves me over as the steak tartare. I just was about to clear it. Excuse me. Hey, she doesn't need her apps. We're just going to split the entree. She's had enough, and she's kind of looking at him like I have.
Who's
not
she?
had
The
enough.
mother or the wife?
The fiance.
Fiance.
And I'm like, well, they're right there in the window, so I'm going to bring them out now. Y'all can just share them. He's like, we don't need them. And the other couple, the regulars, go, no, we'll just share it. It's fine. It's just scallops in a salad, Caesar salad. So I put the scallops down in front of him, and he goes, oh, this is for her. So I put the Caesar salad in front of him. He goes, it's for her. I'm like, just hold on to it. She'll get to it in a minute.
I want to punch this dude in the face
now. I bring big pepper over.
Yeah.
I don't offer it for his salad. You don't get it.
You want to talk about a power move when you bring over big
P.
black
R.I.P.
pepper?
R.I.P.
Big pepper.
So he proceeds to just take the toast off the top, take a bite of it, and go, we don't need this. Take it. And I'm like, all right, fine. So I clear that, and they like the regulars like to have a time between courses. So I'm getting their break. He goes, excuse me, where's our dinner? I'm hungry. And I was like, should have had some of that salad then. And he just stares at me, and I'm not breaking eye contact. The other couple's already on their second bottle of Bordeaux after 2 cocktails. They're having a good time.
And you know that no matter what you do to douchebag Darren, that couple.
Me. So douchebag Darren, at dessert time, looks at her and goes, she doesn't need any dessert. And she's a very fit and trim lady. And I could tell he is controlling her. And I hate that when a man tries to, any part of the couple, man or woman, tries to tell the other person what they do or do not want.
And especially in a public sense where it's like...
you're not at Kroger shopping.
You're parading, you're parading this.
Yeah. You're
this
making
around.
us think, this has got to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. We got the point.
We're back to Darren. Let me shake my head like this guy did. You bald fuck. Anyway, so, that's much better. So, I'm like, you know what? We're going to get a dessert. I'm bringing out a creme brulee because that's what the other couple likes. And she's like, go throw in a bread pudding. And he just looks arms folded now.
Yes.
He wants to leave. I figured that out. He just wanted to go. And so he leaves to go get the car to pick up Beth, the fiance. And she gives me a big hug, kiss on the cheek. She's super sweet. And as soon as she walks out, the guy goes, doesn't he suck ass?
Wow.
And I was like, he goes, because the guy tried to get the tab, and I was like, no, you pay for it. He's like, no, I want the tab. I was like, you're not getting the tab. He's like, I want the tab. I'm like, they're my regulars, not you.
Yeah.
You can talk to management if you want to, but you're not getting the damn tab. And so they pay, tip me fat, like 50%.
Of course.
But they proceed to mock this dude
I love it.
the whole time after he's gone before they leave. And we talk for like 15 minutes or whatever. And they're like, next time we should just kick him the curb. You can come sit down with her. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm in. I go, why is she with him? He goes, I don't know. She's the heir to the duct tape fortune. Her grandfather invented duct tape.
You're talking about Beth Duct?
Old BD.
Beth Duct was in there.
I think it's Beth tape.
I was tape. I'm sorry. So whenever the mother was like, "Don't mind her fiance," at first you were like, "This wasn't the canary in the coal mine." You were like, "Oh, she's just like
being Kichi, yeah." But no, he sucked. And thing is, they'd only met him one time before. They said they met him one time before for like 15 minutes.
fiance though."
Yeah, it's a niece. Their niece. They don't have kids.
Gotcha.
They went to pay. They were, the trust is paying for it. When the trust is done, they can get the rest of the money because I guess the duct tape's money's in the family. I don't know how much that could be worth, but I looked it up. Beth, hey baby,
Beth Duct.
I'll wear whatever
Beth
wig
King.
you want me to wear. You can duct me in here or anything. I'll be Mr. Beth. I don't care.
So how long before he slapped her in the face outside? Because I thought you were gonna be like he walked out and went
Taped her up in the hotel room.
taped her mouth
Duct
shut.
taped her up. A little bit of.
See, and that's the beauty part of it is, all right, so the matching of wits or the power dynamic that people try and hold over you because you, all right, so the perfect example, the lady before that, she's like, find someone to clean this off, right?
And they weren't, Karen was not as bad as Darren ended up being overall.
No, understood.
Karen just had a different expectation of the service we would provide.
Sure. But Karen was like, bring the boy over.
Yes.
That's the attitude. I'm not necessarily
saying. And if he hadn't been non-white, she would have been like, oh, who is this?
That's what I'm saying. So then the second part of the disrespect of her is grabbing that napkin and dropping it on. That's like throwing a cigarette butt on the ground.
It was folded up on the ground.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yes, I took a cigarette butt on the ground.
No.
Like where was I? I was going to a place I used to work today for a second, and I was smoking a cigarette because I was not happy about to go in there. I ashed out the cigarette, threw it into the trash can, and in front of people that were sweeping up the area around there, and one woman went, "Thank you." I went, "For what?" She's like, "Throw it in the trash." People just throw them on the ground. I'm like, "Why?" I mean, I grew up on the beach.
Yeah.
You don't put your cigarettes out and leave them there.
People are savages. I was at work, and there's a guy that works there.
I feel bad when I throw like an apple core out the window, knowing it's going to be gone in an hour. But don't throw out chicken wing bones. Okay, that's not going to be gone in an hour. But something completely edible, plus a cyanide could kill somebody.
Well, all right. So I threw like 3 peanut hulls out of the window one time driving back from Statesboro, and I was like, I should stop. Even though they're peanut hulls.
A bird will eat that though.
Well, no, I'm just saying I don't want to be seen throwing shit out of the window.
I don't want to be. And the thing is, nothing will ruin a date or a friendship of watching someone litter. I'm like, oh, pick that up.
Yeah,
it's over. Also, you dirty fuck.
I was at work and I was smoking down on the porch as I normally do, and a cigarette butt flies past me and lands on the ground.
Tragic?
No. Tragic?
No, he's pretty good.
He puts his, and I turn back and it's a person, very small, whatever. I'm not going to dox this dude. I was like, hey man, why are you throwing cigarettes? He goes, what? It's a cigarette. I was like, number one, it's trashy as fuck for you to litter. You have just made yourself such a cretin to me now. Number two, this porch is made of wood. And you recall, it has burned down before. We've burned down before.
Like I want your face to burn down right now.
But so that is a number one. Like it will make my dick soft really quick.
So like Huckapoos, if I'm at a bar, ashtray if you smoke at a bar. Yeah. But Huckapoos, I'll flick it out sometimes.
Yeah.
If it's been, but I'm cognizant of the recent weather. If it hasn't been raining for a couple of days, I'm like, I must find a beer bottle.
Yeah.
That someone's drinking.
So speaking of commercials, Southern Bell, which is a STVR company down here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess they had some professional videographers or something, and they were already here doing some work. So they did like this really nice commercial for Huckapoos, sort of. and it was
Oh,
about.
yeah, I like this.
Yeah,
Commercial.
yeah. It was.
When was that? Was that recent? The commercial was done recently?
I think the commercial
Had been the last year
was
because Aaron's in it.
released. It was released like a couple of days ago. Like,
And Aaron looks so serious.
the thing was, so I was at work on Thursday, and Aaron showed it to me. I was like, I have to do a voiceover of this. So I left work early.
Just to do that.
Literally, I was like, I came home. I did it.
I'm losing money for this.
Yes. So I did it, and I posted it. I didn't realize how close to the release date of the original that mine was. So probably the first 4 or 5 people that shared it didn't listen to it. They thought it was the original. So Joey Ellswick was one. She goes, "This is such a perfect, spot-on representation of Huckapoos and the loving community." And I was like, she don't know.
She don't know.
She don't know. And then the next like 5, like
Maybe she watched the original one and didn't reshare it, and then saw yours and was like, "Oh, Paxton's very gentle and nice. He must be sharing the actual video."
so I
It's
was,
great. If you
so I
haven't
was, yeah. So if you,
we'll post it to the Instagram. here
it's
in
on
a
our
second.
it's on our Instagram, I think, or it's on my Instagram. I'll put it on the Barcast Instagram soon. But I
Like and subscribe.
like and subscribe. I just didn't want it to come off as my impression of everyone. Besides Blake, that was the exact impression.
Yeah, you can't keep.
Yeah. But my impression of Aaron was like Aaron and young Mike in the back, because young Mike, he'll go, P. What's that? So
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So we'll go on those tangents for a while. I'll be like, "Hey, Mike."
What's
Oh God, I'm starting to laugh like that for real. But yeah, it was so people thought that I'd shot it because it looked like the cinematography looks great. There's like swoop ins and swoop outs.
Beautiful.
Yeah, someone did a good job.
Someone did a really good job.
And you completely took over their good job. Probably got more views than
I was
they
gonna
did.
say, I hope it doesn't get more views than the original.
Speaking of overperforming,
Yes, I have to hear this.
So
I've been waiting for this.
This may be one
All
of
episode.
my last pieces of nostalgia. Anyways, I won't harp on that too long. I don't work at Circa anymore. I've got a new job already. Anyways, where did it go? Okay, so review on TripAdvisor. Usually if you're going to go to review sites, TripAdvisor, you can't just do one review of a restaurant. They want you to have interacted with some, so they make sure you're a real person, not just trying to dox somebody with one bad review.
Yeah.
Yelp. The guy in the picture, I'm going to let you see what this pleasant gentleman looks like real quick, just for your own personal viewing. This guy looks incredibly exciting. Here's the picture of a bored guy at a
He looks like
library.
he jerks off to the phone book.
Yes, that's exactly what he looks like.
Ooh, 8675. Oh,
309. Great atmosphere. 3 stars.
Okay.
So he did the stars right based on what he got. Great atmosphere, crazy service, okay food. The ambiance of this restaurant was wonderful, and the staff were very friendly. However, our wait person, who was very likable, seems to treat his job more like performance art than waiting. I don't know who this could be. I'm not saying Big Pepper.
I was gonna say, I was like, he was probably like, I was a little startled by the size of this man's black
He was. And
pepper.
When I brought it over, I have my side. I pull it out real fast, and he was like, "Ah!" He was like, "That is a very ostentatious," He hit me with a 4-syllable SAT word.
Yeah.
But here's where I was like, I don't feel bad at all. We prefer a waiter who collects our order, enters our questions, missed a comma there, buddy, and leaves us alone. If I need to ask a question, then I just look up and catch their eye, and they come over. So he's a douchebag.
Yeah.
Some people want to be left alone, and usually I can feel that
You can
out.
read the room, yeah.
But that night he was there. It was the night Amanda was there,
Yeah.
and everyone was. It was fun table.
Yeah, you're just trying to pass this along
Crickets.
to them. Yeah.
Crickets, guys.
Oh, yeah.
That's what his wife's pussy sounds like. So,
Like he knows what that feels like anymore.
that's right.
Yeah.
Our waiter spoke very quickly, seemed hyper, and came over too often.
Hey, I don't disagree. I could write that review about
Yeah.
me being behind my bar.
So, behind your bar, comes over too often, seemed hyper, and spoke very quickly. All right, I'm too attentive. Don't you want? Do you want me not to be attentive?
Look. Go ahead.
Do not get me. Hold on. His next line is, "Do not get me wrong." I can't. Do not get me wrong.
Oh wow.
Woo, you write this?
Okay.
Is this you? Do not get me wrong. He
I
seemed
do
to be
jerk
a
off to the
wonderful.
phone book.
Yeah. Well, me too. Those yellow pages get me going. I actually just used the phone book. Episode title: Phone book jerk off.
Phone book, yeah.
So he goes, "Do not get me wrong. He seemed to be a wonderful man." So he liked me but hated me. I get it.
Yeah.
We didn't date, but yeah, I get it. Don't get me wrong. He seemed to be a wonderful man, and for the right customer, he'd be perfect. But a little too much personality for a classic French bistro style restaurant.
I can't disagree with him in the terms
For
of
what he wanted, I get it. But the thing is, there ain't no French people in there.
yeah. And you need to be up front. Be like,
I'm gonna be a lot.
yeah.
Hi, because I don't ever introduce myself at first. I always talk, and then people either ask my name.
Yeah.
And when I take the order, I go, "I'm Clint. I'll be back with your food."
Yeah.
Because it feels very robotic in that kind of environment to be like, "Hi, I am Clint. I am your server." Like I want to just.
Do
guide
you
in
like
there.
big black pepper?
Yeah, I hope so. I'm going to be a lot and hyper
I speak very quickly.
intergalactic planetary. He goes, "The food was not great. Period. My wife had mussels moule mariniere as a starter. The broth was somewhat bitter. I had classic escargot. There was no garlic, parsley, butter, which is really the best bit. For the main, I had steak and pommes frites with béarnaise sauce. It was all good. However, there's not too much to go wrong. My wife had beef short ribs, green beans, mashed beans. All of it was nothing to write home about. All in all, a lovely little restaurant serving, but okay, but not great French food.
Nothing to write home about.
Value,
but I'll write
3
it.
out of 5.
But I'll write it on the internet.
Food, 3 out of 5. Service, 4 out of 5.
Okay.
So didn't
Okay.
kill me.
Okay.
Now, bookending his review of me are 2 other reviews about me being 5-star.
Oh right. Yeah.
But this guy, in his defense, has 16 reviews.
Okay.
He's done this before. When you get a good, this was going to be my dear restaurants that hold one bad review
Yeah.
against 250 good reviews.
Yeah.
No attaboys for good ones, but only one bad one. What happened here? Well, they've made one post ever, and they're tearing us apart. Maybe they're an asshole.
Yeah.
And so that's weird because some restaurants don't do that because some managers understand people are dicks. And some understand that, some don't understand that. They're like, oh, one bad review means we're going to close down next week. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So that becomes a kind of a battle. But when you have a lot of reviews, I take stock in your review because at least you're taking the time constantly to do it. So if your review is negative or positive,
Sure.
I can respect it more because you've done this a bunch.
It holds more weight because you're not just being entirely anonymous out there. You have receipts.
And if you take stock in the percentage,
Yeah.
there's an old Einstein story. Einstein has a physics class in college, like a sophomore, junior level class. He writes out the timetables for 9. 9 times 1, 9. 9 times 2, 18, and goes all the way up. When he does 9 times 10, he writes 91, and the whole class laughs. And he goes, "What's so funny?" They're like, "Oh, you got that one wrong. You put 91." He goes, "What's funny is not this, but that I got the first 9 right, and I get 1 wrong, and you make fun of me. But there was no applause for my 90% correct. So when 10% is wrong, you come at it." He goes, "Mathematics is like this. If 90% of the math works and makes sense, don't hold the 10% against the rest of it if the math works out every time." E equals MC.
Squared,
F you.
of course. And especially in terms of, because all right, if you do have enough time to be like, all right, if I'm really researching and then I'm going to go look at every review and then see each person's review, how many times they reviewed other things.
I just look at the number of reviews they have.
Yeah.
And I'll click on it and just scroll quick. Depending on, if I'm going to a very nice restaurant, I'm going to spend,
Right.
and I'm out of town,
Yeah.
and I'm going to spend money, I do spend some time looking into it. If I'm going to Les Mous in Louisville, Kentucky, shout out to Vinny at Les Mous. But like, I'm going to look into that because I'm going to spend $300 for a 2-top. But if I'm going to Les Huckapoos,
Yeah.
I am not concerned with the
Charlie's
reviews.
Pump House.
Yeah, that's a bathhouse, I think.
Yeah, Charlie's Pump House. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, they have one dish. It's cram chowder.
Cram chowder.
There you go, cram chowder.
So write a review about that. And the other thing is, so all right, I prefer to be kind of left alone in terms of when I'm being served at a restaurant or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not going to ruin my day if my guy's pretty happy You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If my guy is being jovial and I can tell that he's been jovial with the rest of his tables and the guy's on a roll.
He's having a good time.
He's having a good time. Even though I don't necessarily want to have that same good time, you can do that with your body language.
You can say, give us a few minutes.
You know what? We're just gonna take our time tonight.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying the onus is on them to make you, or the onus is on you to make them feel a certain way. You got to communicate.
Here's some heroin,
somehow.
sir. Would you like to do some, please?
Well, I found that the energy matching thing. If people come at me with a loud voice,
You go,
right?
though.
Yeah, I go. I'm sorry, man. And then after like 5 interactions, you pretty much meet in the middle.
Does that work on Blake?
It does not work on Blake.
Some people are immune to it. You've done it too many times to
I
them.
can't even hear anymore. Yeah,
Well, speaking of not hearing anymore, it's been a good one.
it's been a great one actually. I've had
I
a
like
really
this.
good time.
It felt very this weathery.
Yes,
Does that make sense?
Cabernet
Crack.
Sauvignon weather.
Sauvignon Blanc.
So remember, we are on Patreon. If you would like to support us, it really helps the show out, makes the things run. It's patreon.com/from
And
behind
next
the
week we
barcast.
may have
Would I?
half a guest.
Yeah, we're
It's
gonna
a
work
midget.
that. We're gonna work that out. It's gonna be good no matter
It's the
what.
pirate midget.
yeah,
And we'll do a Patreon next week. It'll be post-Thanksgiving Patreon.
yeah.
There'll definitely be some leftovers being eaten between.
100%. And everyone, cheer for the U.S. of A.
Have a happy Thanksgiving. Go Cowboys.
Have a happy Thanksgiving. We love you guys. We
that
hope your
ass.
holidays are everything you could dream of. Jerk off into phone books. The F count is.
You missed 2. We're both up by 1. So it's 2 Paxton, 3 Clint. We love you guys.
We love you guys too. And we will see y'all next Tuesday.